sorry I'm a bit late. I was still getting everything ready. So that's on me. But I'm planning to go about 2 hours today. Just wanted to let you guys know, so you guys kind of have an idea of what we're doing today. Before we begin, though, I really want to give a huge shout out to Nathan for gifting 5 memberships to you guys in the chat. So, if you received a membership courtesy of Nathan, please say thank you. So those of you who have a membership now, you will be able to see a video that I actually have uploaded for members only, and then will be published publicly tomorrow. So you guys get 24-hour early access. So that video is I know I finally came out with it. It's like almost 6 months later, but I finally came out with my vlog for the NFA, the National Flute Convention, back in August. So I wrote a little note on there to just kind of explain why I've held on to the footage for so long. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about it since we're here. That trip meant a lot to me. I got to talk to so many of you. We had some very, very meaningful conversations, very deep, very personal. And I treasure that. And there's something very sacred about, being someone that so many people feel safe talking to about real life. And I felt that if I just kind of, came out with a vlog right afterwards as if I didn't give it much thought, it felt cheap. And I didn't want to cheapen the experience. But, so I've been giving a lot of thought to, like all the conversations that I had with you guys. And I kind of felt like recently that, I've kept it to myself long enough now, and I'm ready to share it with you guys. And what's funny is that when you actually watch the vlog, you're going to realize that it's actually, I don't actually really talk about too many like really personal, deep things in there. I just mention that I had a lot of conversations with you guys. But to me, when I watch the footage, it makes me remember all of those conversations. So, I just finally feel ready to share it with you guys. So, Jennifer, yes, I saw our picture because I was going through our pictures. So I do have pictures of you guys up on that vlog. But I did try my best. I tried my best to blur all your names because the name tags have everyone's full name. So I tried my best to blur it, just so that you guys can keep your privacy. But yeah. So, Donna, you were at NFA, but you didn't see me. I'm so sorry. I was trying to like be around the Flute Center booth. I was, like on contract to be at the Flute Center booth for, was it like a couple hours or something like that, on the Saturday and on the Sunday. But I tried to kind of be around so that, I could talk to as many of you as possible. So, Donna, if you go to another NFA, and I'm there, please try and track me down. I would love to chat with you. That would be amazing. So, hey, Nicholas, how are you? Chef Micah, you've been waiting for this review. Casey EEE, I'm so glad that you are very excited about this. I saw I think on the short that I came out, or no, it was the community post that I came out with. You mentioned that this was your piccolo, so you can let me know if what I say rings a, just kind of like if you relate to what I say about this piccolo. So. Hey Ryan, so you made all region and joined a professional orchestra. Whoa, fantastic. Congratulations. But yes, a surprise upload before the stream. So that's the NFA vlog. Hello, Michael. Victor, hello. Let's see. So I can see who was gifted a membership. So I'll say hi to you guys as well. Chef Maiku, Noel, Adrian, James, Miguel, and then also I'm seeing Mateo. Hello, welcome back. Hello, Megan. Hello, Fallen Leader. Amir, yay. Hello, how are you? Good night. Let's see. There's another Ryan in here. Hello. And then, yes, I said hello to Jennifer, Fallen Leader Donna, Copano. Hello, hello. And okay, Eric. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so if you guys, come into the chat after this, and I, and I miss you. I'm not trying to snub you or anything. Sometimes I'm just so focused on doing the review that I miss some of the messages. So I just want you guys to know that I'm really not snubbing you or anything. It's just we got to get some stuff done, So, Noelle, you're going to listen to the replay on your way home. Well, wonderful. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of whatever it is you're up to. Yeah, it was wonderful chatting with you, Chef Maiku. It was really so fun to put faces to all of these, these lovely usernames that I'm more used to. So, okay. We shall get started now. Now you'll see that I put up a thing of notes because I do want to do kind of like a pretty like legit review on the Trevor James. This was kind of a impulse purchase. I will admit that. However, I have been looking for a really good backup Piccolo sub $1,000. My budget did not change from before. Still sub $1,000 within the U.S. if bought within the U.S. Learn from my mistakes, and so that's why I have the Nagahara out as well. I want to, after I do the full review of the Trevor James 5X, I wanted to do a little comparison between essentially my backup and my main Piccolo, mostly because I think that this will just be really good information for me to know. In my opinion, the more you know about your instruments and how they behave, the easier it is to kind of switch between them, and also, just to not kind of run into some issues where you assume that you are going to be playing a certain way, but then maybe the instrument that you switch to just doesn't really respond to you that way. So that's why we have both Piccolos out. And well, let's put away the Nagahara for now. I was thinking that in the second half of this stream, that's when I was going to take out the Nagahara. So let's put this off to the side for now, and then we're just going to focus on the Trevor James here. It's sub 1K. It is. So if I'm correct, did I actually put the link to it in here? I did. So if you guys go to the description below this video, and you just open it up, it says see more, and click on that, and then you open it up, you'll see that I have linked the exact product page for this on Flute Center. So yeah, technically this is from Flute Center, but I bought it. And I did feature it for a hot second at the end of, I think it was the My Favorite Flute Things video live stream that I did back in December. But yeah, this is sub 1,000. It is $939. So it was perfect. It is actually sub 1,000. So yes, it is technically sub 1,000. Exactly. So I was like, oh my God, this is within budget. This is exactly what I'm looking for. And, I have saved up money since, and You know, at that point I had already paid off my C-foot joint as well. So I was like, I think this kind of will sort of like complete, you know, tick off another thing. Cause my then backup piccolo was the Yamaha, 62, which I bought off of eBay several years ago. I was going to sell it, and then now I don't know if I'm going to, because I have already featured it. You know, I think, what wasn't it, like last week or something, or the week before. I already featured it to compare against the Yamaha 91. So I'm so glad I didn't sell it. So I might actually become one of those people who just hoards instruments because I actually have a reason to hoard them. But yeah, I basically upgraded my backup. And so I think some of you will be wondering, why the heck do you need a backup? When you do this as your profession, you always need to have a really good, reliable backup instrument to play on, just in case something happens to your main instrument. So this can be anything from like just regular wear and tear. Your instrument needs to go in for a COA, but you have scheduled a like a gig or some sort of performance or something like that. So you'll need to have a backup. In my case, what happens most of the time though is that you know, my teaching schedule persists even if I send my flute in for a COA. So this was why it's so important for me to have a really good backup flute. So the Trevor James, it's Trevor James again. I tend to favor a lot of the Trevor James flutes. So the Trevor James copper alloy flute is my backup flute because the metal copper in the copper alloy, that is, it mimics the feeling on my regular flute, on my main flute, very well. And you know, so it's much cheaper than my main flute, but it plays close enough that it is not a problem for teaching. I definitely noticed that there was a problem for teaching on my backup flute when it was the Meteki, actually, because my Meteki actually needs a lot of TLC. It probably, no, it most definitely needs an insane overhaul. It needs a crazy overhaul. Probably one of those like over $2,000 type of overhauls. I think that's actually what it needs. It's just, it's a huge chunk of money, and I'm not really ready to part with that money to overhaul that instrument quite yet. So you know, one, that that particular oh dear. Oh dear. I think I need to send this in for a tweak. I just noticed that the A sharp key isn't bouncing up and down as well as it should. Oop. Yeah, I'm gonna have to send that in to Flute Center to tweak. Oh, it's like kind of working again now, which is very strange. I wonder if it's the spring then, or yeah, some sort of spring mechanism is not happy right now. Oh dear. Uh-oh. I'm so sorry. I think it's a spring. Yeah, something isn't quite right. Like, it's not exactly binding, but it's not bouncing up all the way. Oh dear. Should I attempt to fix it now? Do we have any flute techs in here? Yeah, this is very typical. Fallen Leader was seeing, you just saw live why getting new instruments checked out is a thing. Yeah, new instruments often kind of get out of adjustment very quickly within the first little bit. This is very common. So I just bought this at the end of 2024. So I'm not exactly surprised that this is happening. If it is actually simple fix, but you need to know where it is. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel right now. I'm not trained enough to really see exactly where I need to tweak something. I think it's still playable. So let's see what happens with today's like testing. I may need to do a little redo of this live stream. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't mean for this to happen. I should have, see, now I know I should have checked this and then sent it off for a tweak before actually doing the live stream. Dang it. Anyway, now you guys can see live what happens within the first like month or two of owning an instrument. It's very, very typical. This is definitely the real experience. Yep. So Ryan, you always try to detach and reattach the spring. Yeah, the spring is like really far in there. So, yeah. I am not the most I'm not the most confident. I'm going to grab my YPC 62 just to look at, like, compare the two. Okay. So I've got my YPC 62 here. So again, I'm very happy that I didn't sell this. So see, I can't tell. I cannot tell which spring I need to mess around with. I'm not trained enough for this, guys. No worries, Ryan. You have a great rest of your day. Yeah, $100 fix can end up a $500. Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't really want to like tweak it. Like, you guys can see that it like is mostly working, but then I'm noticing that it's like sometimes it doesn't come all the way up. It's almost like the more I use it, the better it's going. So let's see how see, like, now it's working. It's like a little laggy. It's working now. If you're a flute tech, can you tell me why? It needed to warm up. Is it the B flat lever? It's technically both the B flat lever and the B flat, thumb B flat. Not so much of an issue if you use long B flat. It's camera shy. There you go. I fixed it. No, I didn't, guys. Yeah, so it's the B flat. It's working now. I don't know. Okay, I think I'm still going to send it to the Flute Center. Yeah, I'm still going to send it to the Flute Center because I want it to be reliable. And I know that it's new too. So, like, yeah. The show must go on. It doesn't like all the attention. Yeah. You know, I only played it a little bit that time. And then it was like, oh my God, now I live here. I have to do this again. I have to be in front of people. Look at us personifying our instruments. Okay. So let's give you guys a nice little close-up of this. Okay, so a few things to point out here, and I can also list out for you guys the specs. So let me get that open here. So the specs are composite thin wall head joint with profiled lip plate. So you can see that it's a carved lip plate and it has that wave style. And this combo is what I like. My mouth really likes this. We discussed this, I believe, last week. I believe, you know, generally it seems to be agreed that people who don't play the piccolo all the time tend to prefer like a wave style head joint because it kind of makes your airstream a little bit closer to what you feel on the flute. So when you switch to the piccolo, it's not so big of a difference. Okay, and then we have a composite body, silver plated mechanism, Y key arms, tuned at A equals 442. So wonderful, wonderful. The description from Trevor James is the TJ5X Piccolo is an extremely responsive instrument, ideal for both beginners and experienced flutists seeking an affordable, easy to play option. That's me. Transitioning from flute to piccolo can be challenging, so this model is crafted to prioritize effortless playability and outstanding sound quality. Its thin-walled head joint with a contoured angled lip plate delivers a full and resonant tone across the entire range. So essentially what we're reading here is exactly what I'm describing to you as to why I picked up this instrument. It's really funny. I didn't actually read that description before buying it, and all those reasons are exactly why I bought it. I want a good, responsive backup piccolo. So, okay, that is what we're working with. I kind of want to give you guys a nice close up of this so that you guys can really see the texture. I'm really impressed with the fact that this is composite because it honestly feels like wood. It looks like wood and it feels like wood. Very, very, very impressive. Like extremely impressive. So I do enjoy the fact that it is composite because there are much fewer what's the word, like maintenance concerns, I believe is a good way of putting it. But there you go. Just wanted to give you guys the full 360 so you guys can really ooh and ah over it. Yeah, this lip hole is, like, in my opinion, gigantic for a piccolo. We can take a look at the Yamaha. So again, I'm just really glad I didn't sell this. Well, yeah, kind of. Okay, in real life, weirdly, they look actually about the same size. Like maybe the Trevor James is a tiny bit bigger, but like the shape you can tell is definitely a little different. But this is the YPC 62, and this is a very standard piccolo cut. And then we have this. Yeah, you can see like, because that wave style essentially, like that hole drops at like a pretty sharp edge here, and then the hole continues over here. And I think there's something about the fact that the hole continues essentially like on the other side a little bit more that for some reason really helps me. So yeah, exactly as Nathan said, humidity wouldn't be much of an issue, you would assume, on composite. Yes, you're absolutely correct about that. So does it have split E mechanism? I believe it does. Let me, here, let's take a look. So, oh, it doesn't. Yeah, this one does not have split E. Yeah, so if it has split E, then this key right here, there, this key right here would go down, but you can see it doesn't. Oh, wait, I'm an idiot is what it is. Okay, yes, it is split E. I'm sorry, guys. I'm an idiot. Yeah, it is split E. There we go. You see that key going down by itself? There you go. Yeah, I'm hitting the wrong key, Antonio. You got it. See, this is how you see what I'm really doing, guys. I'm not actually, but I'm just going to say that I am. This is how you get that community engagement going, you know? You say something wrong, and then people are like, they immediately want to come in and correct you. That's how you get that engagement going. So we're just going to say, I totally meant to do that. And I'm just increasing community engagement. Okay, let's head back here. We're going to, yes, I was testing you guys. See, I was testing you guys. Okay. I am going to, hi, Bob Builder. Okay. I'm going to pop in my loop earplugs. I'm going to start with one in this ear. Usually this is the ear that the right ear is the one that needs to be protected like a little bit more. A lot of piccolists will actually keep this one open just so you can hear what you're doing a little bit more. And especially because we are doing a review, I do kind of want to hear a little bit more of what I'm doing. But if it gets to be too much, I will pop in the other one as well. So if you guys have not heard about loop, I personally really love the loop earplugs because they're like really cute, and two, they come in like all like real like a crazy size range, and they give you all the sizes for the earbud tips. So I've been loving using this for quite a while now. So let's stand, because I have realized recently that I really should do all of my reviews standing up just so I have better support and stuff like that. Oh, I am not wearing my, there we go. I'm not wearing my slippers right now, so I needed to put it back down a little bit. Okay, here we go. We're going to start with some harmonics. I don't know how high I can go on this. I usually am not the best on harmonics on piccolo. So let's see how far I can get. So I can tell just from doing that I have it rolled in way too far. I wonder if, like, the way that I was doing it, maybe I'm not accounting for the wave part of it, because I felt like I was like, whoa. Because I almost feel like I have to roll in more when it's not wave. Sorry, wrong microphone. That's on me, guys. I haven't played the piccolo in a hot minute, so but let's do harmonics for real now. I usually can't get the A, but the fact that I can get that F sharp so cleanly is a feat for me. So I'm gonna now try and nail exactly where they're sitting in my mouth, and then I will show you guys. have a rough idea of where they are. I'm going to now noodle around a bit just to make sure that it is what I think it is. Okay, the highest, like so I was trying to like tuck that airstream really high for those really high notes for the B flat, because usually kind of like where you can feel that air bubble in your mouth, usually as you go higher, the air bubble kind of like tucks up and further back. But I noticed that for the B flat, it's like suddenly really forward. So I actually wonder if that's kind of like where it sort of like breaks off the breaks away from the like expected movement. So all flutes and piccolos in my experience, like all flutes, no flute is perfect. So when you are playing around with like where that air bubble wants to sit in your mouth for each note, there will come a point where like after you like play around a little bit, you can kind of like get a feel of like what the pattern is. Like, you know, low notes want to sit somewhere like in a certain spot, and then like you can feel it sort of like, you can feel the air bubble like moving in sort of like a predictable manner, usually in some form of like kind of up and back. But at a certain point, it will break away for like a couple of notes, for like a few notes. And for some flutes, it's a little lower in the third register. For some flutes, piccolos, it's a little bit higher. So I'm noticing that at B flat, it's really kind of like breaking that expected pattern of kind of going up and back. It's still really high in the mouth, but it's really forward suddenly. So yeah, I wonder if that makes it actually weirdly easier to play those high notes, because you don't have to feel like you're like kind of having to tuck it up and back. That usually makes a lot of people feel like they're kind of choking, like like that. So if it's suddenly in the front, I think it, at least for me, makes it a little bit easier to play. Huh. No, it starts on the A. It's like you can kind of like make the A work, the high A work like a little bit further back, but I can hear the resistance. It pops right out if I tuck it forward. That high B popped right out. Okay. So A, B flat, B is right up in the front. And weirdly, it makes it way easier to play because you don't have to feel like you're kind of choking on yourself. All right, so that was high C. I hope you guys were okay. Please tell me your ears are okay. I am very, very pleased that I could just blast that right out. Okay, so I failed to prepare my little sad excuse of a whiteboard. So we're going to do that right now. We're preparing it as we speak. So, because I want to like give you guys a proper map of where I can feel the air bubble moving inside the mouth. So let's head on over to our whiteboard here, and I'm going to hope and pray that this gets the right. Oh, look at it. It worked. Okay. You know, this stuff doesn't always work first try, but it did. So, we need to draw our favorite little diagram here. I really should have this already pre-drawn, guys, but there's something kind of funny about drawing it from scratch every time. Oops. So let's do that. Whoa, those are some vampire teeth happening. Okay, we just have vampire teeth. Today we just have vampire teeth. There we go. That's a really short mouth. No. Okay. There we go. That's close enough, guys. That's close enough. So let's now have some lips going. So we have that. We have that. Oh! Give me a second, guys. It just disappeared on me. Okay, there we go. So that is a juicy lower lip. Okay, we're just gonna say that's what's going on here. So let me just double check. Yeah, right on the lower lip. So this happens to fit me really well. So our low note air bubble, I'm gonna make a little swirly, but it really feels like, so when you say the word pew, I'm taking this from Katri Renström's The Magical Flutist. So when you say the word pew, pew, and then you keep blowing air, pew, you should feel an air bubble forming that just kind of like stays there. Pew, pew. You should feel an air bubble. Now you can move that air bubble around, okay? So for low notes, that air bubble is sitting right on the lower lip. Like that's where I'm feeling my low D. So I'll put here, this is low D. Then as I move higher, like I would say middle register, let's go up to D, like one octave higher. Okay, so middle register D is right at the bottom of my teeth. Now you have to keep in mind, this is my mouth. I have a little child-sized mouth. When I go to the dentist, I have to ask for the pediatric x-ray tab. All right, so do with that information what you will in your research. I want you to know that this may not be 100% applicable to your mouth. So if you know that you have a larger mouth, then you know, if you're looking at this diagram and you're like, ooh, if I have a larger mouth, that's gonna be like really, really freaking like tiny for me, then, you know, like that's good information for you to have. So anyway, I feel that my middle register D is here. So I'll put that here. So this is middle register D. Now let's go up to the high D. So I'm moving the air bubble around until I can hear that the piccolo just sort of like resonates. So this is really interesting because this probably makes this very easy to, like, it feels like it's very easy to play because my high D is actually in the middle. That air bubble is in the middle behind my top front teeth. So right here is high D. Maybe what I should do is call this. So technically what low D is supposed to be D5, right? So here, so this is D5. This is like on a piano. It's the 5th D up from the very bottom of a piano. Then we have, this one would be D6. This guy, this bad boy would be D7. Okay, so what this means is that the range between your low D to your D5 to D6 is quite a bit larger than this this range. Like even from my drawing, you can see like the difference. So it feels like the range between D6 to D7 is half the distance from D5 to D6. So you're gonna feel like you have to make much larger changes in the lower register than in the middle register. So if you're playing a lot of stuff within the middle register, you're gonna feel like you can just concentrate your air bubble pretty much just somewhere in the bottom half of your top front teeth, and it's just gonna sound good. Like you don't really have to do much to it. It's just going to sound good. So that would probably explain why, in terms of responsiveness, it feels very responsive, because this is how it does it. Now, the highest notes, so when we get all the way up to about high G sharp, A flat-ish, let's try it out again. Okay. I would say, okay, how do I explain this? I'm going to put G feels like it's right here. This is G7. Then G sharp 7. Okay. This is where it gets like a little interesting. So G sharp 7, that is not really a different color. Let's go a little bit more different. G sharp 7 is like squashed up here, like that. That's G sharp 7. A is where it gets really different. A feels like it's like, let me check again. Yeah, okay. So A is weirdly lower but more front. So A is like here, maybe a little lower than that. Like, because it's actually comfortable for me to do it. A is like here. It's really weird. Oh, it's really weird. So this is A7. And then pretty much all of the other notes are around here. So I would say, let's see. A7, it's A7 to C8. They all feel right around there. So it's interesting, okay? Now, I can see why I really like this, because this is actually my ideal. This is my personal ideal. I like having a relatively, at least for me, predictable range from the low all the way up to about halfway through the high register. And I like that the A to C is a little bit more forward, because that way I don't actually choke on it. If it was like back here, which on some piccolos I notice it is there, I feel like I'm choking on myself. Yeah, and I really like how there's not much change that you need to do in the middle, in the entire middle register. So the entire middle register, like, that makes it so easy to play those like really lyrical things. You just don't have to you don't have to think much. It just concentrate the air bubble on the lower half of your front teeth and you're fine. Like, it, you know, it's like you really don't have to think about it very much. There are some piccolos, at least for me, that I find that there's like a break somewhere in between in the middle register, and that makes it very difficult to navigate lyrical passages, especially to make things really smooth, really expressive, etc. So yeah, this setup is actually perfect for me. Now, some people will not like this. Let's just be real here. Some people will not like this at all. But this is fantastic. So I like that you guys like the whiteboard. What are ears? Yeah. So, yeah, like, this is pretty darn ideal for like someone who's normally a flutist. So if you don't play the piccolo very often, you may actually find that you really, really like this, especially if you like to concentrate most of your kind of air bubble business very forward in the mouth. If you like that kind of playing, you are going to really like this. So I thought that would be very good for us to, you know, just like get this map going. So since we actually have this map going, you know, I'm actually curious now. I should actually look up my map, because I think I made a map for my Nagahara. I don't remember it anymore, but I wonder how close it is to this. It's really interesting. Or I might actually just straight up make a new map, especially because I this is so fresh in my mind. I know, full lips on the diagram today. Like, you know, we getting those duck lips going. Thick with 3 C's. Very plump. Yes, exactly. Very, very, very plump. Which, by the way, I want to call this out. I feel that it is worth mentioning that at some point in flute history, it was thought by many flutists that you could not play the flute if you had plump lips. And I would just like to say that that is completely and utterly false. That's all. Yes, those chemically enhanced lips. Rogue, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. You've heard and you remember. Yeah. So I just want to put it out there. I don't believe in it. I know I usually try to be very wishy-washy about my opinions, but this I have an opinion on, and it's that's completely bogus. So Because it's not really about the size of your lips, it's where you're placing the flute, like how far away from the aperture between your lips. So different people will place the lip plate on different parts of their lips. Like it doesn't matter what size your lip is. No two people even have the same size of lip anyway. So I don't even see how that can even be true. So yeah, exactly. You're getting by. The stream is a breath of fresh air. I'm glad it is, and I'm so sorry that life is tough right now. I've had my fair share of tough, and I totally understand how you feel about going to a stream to just kind of like forget everything. So I hope that we can do that for you. So you've heard, I thought people with fuller lips don't sound good or can't play the flute. Yeah. That's what I've heard. I have also heard of people just straight up being gatekeeped out of playing the flute because their lips apparently were too plump. But no, we love all sizes of lips. We love all sizes. Every lip size, beautiful. Okay? Every lip size can play the flute. All right. Anyway, rant over. That's true though. If you're plump full of Botox, you're going to feel like it's really hard. Like flexibility is really hard. I have heard that. I have heard of that being an issue. So be warned. Okay, if you plump your lips with Botox, you might have different issues, flexibility issues. Okay, so now that we've mapped our instrument, now we can mess around with like single tonguing, double tonguing, etc., etc. So let's head back over here. So let's just write a few notes so we don't forget kind of like what's happening here. So I'll put here general map or general thoughts. We'll put that first. Okay, so general thoughts. So more range of motion for low reg, and then we have much smaller range of motion for mid register. Fantastic for like lyrical solos. All right. There. And then we have, well, not just lyrical, just fantastic for like noodling around. Noodling. Fantastic for noodling around the middle register. So like if you're doing a lot of lyrical stuff, and also if you're doing a lot of like really fast passages, just knowing that you don't have to like do crazy gymnastics in your mouth is fantastic. So I'll put here high G, G sharp, tucked above back of front teeth. And then we have our high A to C, or I'll put here highest A to C, is in front of top of front teeth. There we go. Easier to blast. So again, makes it very easy for like normally flute players to play this. Great. So those are our general thoughts. Let's look into tone, color, and dynamics. So let's do that. Tone, color, and dynamics. Let's see what we think here. So okay, I just realized from trying to find the B that we need to go back to our whiteboard. So the fact that, you have to kind of like feel out your notes in between where the low D sits and where D6 sits, it means that everything in between kind of feels like you're slightly in no man's land. So, and when I say no man's land, it means that you don't, at least for my mouth, I don't feel that air bubble kind of leaning on any physical part of my mouth. And when I can't feel it leaning on any physical part of my mouth, it's a little bit harder to find. Not impossible, but a little bit harder to find. Now, on the piccolo, you don't normally spend a whole lot of time in that low register. So I don't actually think it's a big issue. But let's go back to tone color. I apologize for my intonation going all over the place. I swear I can hear it, but I'm kind of experimenting with where to open up inside of my mouth. Oh, this is very interesting. I also need to draw this for you guys. Okay, I don't think it's that applicable way up high, but you can definitely tell a difference in the lower notes. So let's go back to the whiteboard here. We will pick, I don't know, like orange for tone color. So if you want to play really like thin and it's going to end up being soft, you kind of want to pinpoint your air bubble, so it's like this tiny little air bubble. So you make the air bubble really tiny. So let's say you're playing D6. Okay, so your little air bubble will be like right there. You want to think of it as like a super tiny air bubble. Now the space that you open up behind it is not directly behind it, because I was experimenting with like opening up the area itself, and that was causing a lot of cracking. I was experimenting with kind of opening up the area right behind it like that, and it was like almost there, but not as stable as I wanted it to be. Where I found it the most stable, and why I was experimenting a lot, was that I discovered that if I opened up this area here, like if I really opened it up, pretended like I stuffed a marble in there, or two, it was like stable, and it like gave a lot more resonance to the sound. It made it a lot louder. So I thought for a moment that, oh, I just always have to open up, you know, kind of this area behind my bottom front teeth in order to make it really loud and resonant. No, that is not the case, because I tried it higher up. I tried it up here, and that did not work. I was like, what was going on? You guys could hear the intonation going crazy. Like, what the heck? What I discovered was that the place where you open up stays relative to the point, to the air bubble. So it's kind of at an angle down and back, behind where your where that like where the front of the air bubble sits. So it's more like if you're opening it up, it feels like you're opening up that space in your mouth. So if we're up here, the air bubble, that like open space is going to be like here. And you feel like, no, it's like, it's lower. It's like this. So you'll feel like that's what you're opening up behind you. So it remains like that where you open it up is relative to where the air bubble is sitting in your mouth. So I was finding that it's hard to do because the air speed has to be so dang high, and also because it is so dang high in pitch, it's just reading loud anyway. But I did notice the same thing for the high G. So it's like, you know, you have it here and then you can open up this space behind it like that. Do the same thing for G sharp 7. It's pretty hard because you have to kind of open up this area behind your front teeth. It does kind of work. I can hear it kind of working. But at the same time, you're screaming up there anyway. So in most cases, you don't actually have to worry too much about dynamics when you're screaming up that high, because usually if you're being written in for a part like that, you are just going to be loud. There ain't no way around it. So you know, most importantly, I would say is to kind of get a feel of this for, you know, the first two registers. So I think here for the D5, I just want to experiment right now. I'm going to guess that I have to like really open up this area down here. That's what I'm guessing, kind of like behind my bottom teeth, but I'm going to see. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening is, yeah, you just kind of open up this space here. I would imagine that if your mouth was actually a little taller, you might actually get a richer D. You might, because I only have so much space left because I have such a small mouth. So, but there you go. That is tone color. So I'll put I'll put here that this is where to open up for richer, louder tone color. Okay. Does all that make sense to you guys? I hope that makes sense. So let's head back and take some notes. Okay, so we have here soft / thin equals pinpoint tiny air bubble. So rich / loud is open up a pocket of space slightly down and back from the air bubble. So the air bubble itself can also get bigger again as well in this case. Okay, very cool. And then let's mess around with articulation. So usually what happens is that you put the tip of your tongue right up against where that air bubble should sit. So wherever the air bubble is moving, you move your tongue with it. So I wonder if this will actually make articulation in the highest notes much easier as well, because since it's so far forward and kind of in front of our teeth, at least I find that means that I can just tongue out here, and that will be that, and that will work. So, and I think that might make the articulation also feel a little bit easier because you don't have to, you know, kind of like do as many gymnastics. So we'll see. Let's see how this works out. I'm going to try it. Although I do want to swab it really quickly. I got it here. Let's slob. Because I have been playing on it quite a bit. B flat key is fine. I don't know what happened there, guys. I'm going to monitor it. If it remains okay, I think what I'll do is just pop it into the shipment for the next COA for my flute. Just, you know, be a little bit more efficient about it. Okay. So let's do, let's try, I guess, F major, single tongue. Let's write this down. So we're doing articulation now. So we're doing single tonguing first. Hey David, how are you doing? I'm hearing a buzz, which usually means that there's water condensation trapped between the key and the tone hole. Maybe I shook it out. I'm not sure. I was right. Okay, so going back to our whiteboard, I don't need to mark anything here because essentially the tongue hits exactly where that air bubble is. I would say maybe just a hair behind it. So actually, no, I do have to mark it, I think, for the highest notes, because I find that anytime, anytime you tongue something that is resonated in front of your front teeth, because that's so forward, you end up just tonguing against the kind of, it's like the bottom of your front teeth. So you tongue, I'll put an X mark, okay? So you tongue right here for these notes, okay? So I'll put here X equals tonguing. Okay, but for everything else, you tongue where that air bubble is. This is just the special one. So every other one is like you tongue here. For your low D, you tongue in the same spot, ironically, as your highest notes. You tongue your D6 up to here. So tonguing, tonguing, tonguing. In my opinion, again, that makes it a lot easier to play the highest notes if you can just tongue where it's very comfortable. I have had to tongue really up high against the roof of my mouth for really, really high, like super, super high notes on the piccolo. Always feel like I'm choking on my tongue. And I have a bad gag reflex. So I really like this. I think this is very comfortable for me. Hi, Connor. Okay, so that is single tonguing. I'm just going to briefly try double tonguing as well. Here we go. Okay. So very similar to single tonguing. Usually that is the case. So let me switch back again to the whiteboard. When you are double tonguing, I find that I'm not really hitting a specific part of my mouth with the K part. Well, kind of. The K part of my tongue, which is like the middle part of my tongue, will hit. It's like as far forward as possible. And like to me, I like it because it feels more like a flap, you know. And you can go faster if your tongue is flapping. You never want to go back and forth like this with your tongue. So you want your tongue to go like this. So the K part of my tongue, let's put K like this. It feels like it's about there. Let me try it again. So ironically, it is there. Ironically, it actually makes it really easy to double tongue G and G sharp 7 because they're like right there. Like they're like right up around the same spot. Yeah. That's funny because usually G and G sharp are like my absolute nemesis on piccolo. Like the fact that it can just come out so easily and, you know, what's the word? Reliably is actually amazing. Just so you guys know, I normally don't sound like this on a piccolo. This piccolo does match me very well. Very, very well. Okay. So let's write these notes in. So follow air bubble. Of note is that highest A to C are tongued exactly where D6 is tongued, which is bottom of front teeth, equals comfortable. Yeah, very comfortable. And then K part of double tonguing sits as forward as possible on roof of mouth. It's as forward as you can make it. Cool. I'll put here. This weirdly makes high G and G sharp easy to double tongue. Okay, very cool. So, this and especially the Trevor James Blaze are on your top piccolo list to try. It's a great piccolo. And now you got a little map. See, you can see if you agree with me. Hey, Courtney, how are you? Hello. Let's see. Now that we've done articulation, let's do mechanism. So we are just going to kind of noodle around. Michael mentioned the scale in thirds. So we'll do that. Right. So let me write in here mechanism. So clearly, for some reason, A sharp is fine now. I wonder if maybe it was just like, because it has been cold. So I wonder if it just got like super stiff or something. I'm going to try out the like trill fingerings and stuff. See, it's completely fine. This is a great piccolo. I wish that I played on this in school. If I played on this in school, I would have had a much better time. Like it feels so good. So let's not get off track. Okay, about the mechanism. It's not the fastest, I will say. But it is even. So it's sort of like, I wouldn't call it slow, but it's sort of like, it's a little bit of resistance. So a little bit of resistance, but it's even across all the keys, including the auxiliary keys. So including the trill keys. So even across all keys, including trill keys. And that is huge because I often find that in sort of like a lot of like not as well made instruments, you will often find that the trill keys are either laggy or way bouncier. Like it's one or the other. But because it's even all throughout, it makes it very predictable to play. That's what you want. That's why you want it to be even. I'll put here. Even equals predictable. You want predictable when it comes to the mechanism. So I like it. It's all really good. Yeah. I'm so glad I bought this. I like that this is my backup piccolo because it will do the job. It will do the job. That is fantastic. Oh, this is so good. Yeah, so it really was camera shy. I think it really was just camera shy, which is hilarious to think about. So David, you're saying I sound very poppy on this pick. I agree. I sound very like it just pops on this. I'm very impressed. Again, sub 1,000. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Nicholas, you played on a school YPC 62 throughout high school, so that might be why you enjoy the piccolo. You were spoiled. Yes, so a lot of people, I believe, and another of my students has corroborated this. I do believe that the reason why some people just don't like some instruments, including the piccolo, is just because they had a bad experience on a bad instrument. Bad could mean a whole bunch of different things. It could mean that it was made badly, but it could also mean that it was maintained badly. Okay, so even if an instrument started out very beautiful, if it was not maintained properly, it can unfortunately turn into a bad experience. So, yeah. Or third is if you ended up learning on a piccolo that does not match your mouth. If the piccolo does not match your mouth, that's also going to be an awful, awful experience. It's not going to be a grand time. Yeah. There you go. Fourth reason Rogue is giving us, Asa McQueen, bad experience with a bad teacher. Yes, that will also do it. And you went 20 years without picking up a flute. That makes me so mad. That makes me so mad. I think it's like because we're so impressionable when we are young, when we are like in middle school, high school, you know, we're so impressionable at that time. If a trusted adult, or even not a trusted adult, just an adult tells you that you're bad at something, that you shouldn't do something, that like something as in like some sort of hobby, some sort of thing that you do for fun. Okay, like if they're trying to keep you safe, that's one thing. But if we're just talking about like just playing the flute or like just another hobby, any hobby, sports, I don't care, whatever it is that you want to do. When it comes to hobbies, I feel like we as adults who are in the position as an educator, it is paramount that we watch what we say to young people, to people like high school and younger, because God dang it, we are so impressionable at that age. And I'm just glad that we can provide a space here to like, so that you guys can enjoy it, even though you guys, some of you may have had some form of bad experience before, but that makes me so mad. That is, I guess, rant number 2 of today. Just, I guess, in a very ranty mood. Soul crushing, exactly, as Asa McQueen is saying. It is soul crushing. And I think it's wrong. As an educator, I think it's wrong to do that. Nathan, when you rebelled against your dad criticizing your guitar playing, you practiced harder. Yep, it can go both ways. It can absolutely go both ways. I have done both in my life. So I have shut down. It has also lit a fire under my butt to go harder. Like it kind of, I feel like I've experienced both ends of the spectrum. So yeah. Yeah, I think it's hardest when it's someone you love who shuts you down for something as innocuous as playing the flute, you know, as innocuous as any hobby that you might want to pick up. That is the hardest. It is the hardest to process, and it is the hardest to forgive. Because you love that person so much, you know? Yeah. So, oh, you were also the dedicated pick player in undergrad. So 4 years of pick play, that'll do it. Okay. So I think what I want to do is just do a little bit of Stars and Stripes. Because I actually think I can play it very easily on this piccolo. I have my orchestral excerpts for piccolo, which has our lovely Stars and Stripes Forever. Somewhere. I swear it's in here somewhere. There it is. There it is. Okay. This always gives me conniptions. Are you guys like this too? Do Stars and Stripes give you conniptions? Please tell me this is relatable. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. I like condensed onto my little like foot pad up down here. Oh, we need to swab out again. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Did I put it back? I did. Okay, let's swab this baby out. No swab. Never swab. Just play through the condensation. Just right through all the water. Yes, establish the piccolo's microbiome. Yes, indeed. Okay. I'm gonna go a little on the slower side, just to kind of like feel out where everything sits. Okay, for having not practiced that in a million years, I am pretty impressed. I think my mouth is not used to playing the piccolo because I was like, oh wow, this is a lot of this airspeed is quite high. But not bad. I haven't practiced that in a million years. So, D major orchestra version. D major, huh? D major? Because this isn't G. Isn't this in G major? No. Or do you mean the A flat version? Yeah, there's a band version. Okay. I know the band I know about the band version in A flat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A flat major. Oh, we'll try a little bit of that. Oh gosh. We're stopping there. But at least I've demonstrated that I can play the notes. Did I start on D? I meant to start on E flat. Did I do it wrong? Okay. Clear. We can do it. I think another good one is, I always test myself on this one. The Beethoven 9 at the very end. So let's do some of it. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I'm realizing that, so the A is in front, but the G sharp is back. So there's going to be, there is actually a lot of kind of back and forth for those notes right there. And I realized that I also was pulling my lips back too much. I have to keep my lips really forward. Okay. okay, for not having practiced it in a bajillion years, I'm pretty happy with that. That's like very practicable. I'm like, okay, yeah, I could see myself like getting really good at this on this piccolo. We're done. Okay. Check 4? Yes, that's another mean one. Let's look at that one too. That's the one that just like comes out of nowhere, right? That one, right? Okay. No, I know about check 4. You guys know why I know about check 4. So when I was, I think I was 14 at the time. So it was when I joined the Vancouver Academy Orchestra. And I had no idea what I was doing. Check 4 was one of the pieces that we played that season. And I remember sitting next to the piccoloist, and she just busted this out. Like this like you're, as the piccoloist, you're just sitting there. You're not really doing anything. And then suddenly you play this. It's really mean. Oh, I was like, oh. Yeah, rest for 3 movements and then high A. Yep. So like if you know, like that's another thing of like why this would, if I had to play it, this would serve me really well, because that high A is in a spot that is like really easy to just blast, So let's try it. I don't know if I actually ever truly studied this. So this is partially sight reading. Okay, we'll try it. Okay. Okay, with a little bit of practicing, I think I could do it. Because I need to land the E and the D, and I have to tongue it correctly. So. Okay, what's the verdict? That was okay, right? For having never actually studied it. Hey, and this is really cutting it. Okay, I've taken way too long on that. I would like to just very, very quickly. I'm just gonna very quickly take out my Nagahara, and just to see, I'm just gonna see if it somewhat matches what we did here. So here she is. She's a big girl. She's a big girl. Okay, and now I know that like I should not actually roll in so far. So now I'm kind of like taking it over to this piccolo. All right, let's see. It sits even lower than the Trevor James. That's interesting. So the low D sits, I'm not even joking, guys. It sits here. That's on my Nagahara. Wopani. Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, wrong microphone. Do you guys notice that this is way mellower? Like, way mellower. Just, it doesn't have the same snap and pop as the Trevor James. That's interesting. I like it. But, huh. Oh. I skip up to the high A on this one. Where does the F sharp sit? Okay, except for the low register, very similar to the Trevor James. Extremely similar. Like, yeah, the notes are actually really up in the front. Yeah, the high G and G sharp are actually in the same spot as a Trevor James. And then like the A and above is in front of the front teeth. Yeah. Sorry, guys. High F sharp on flute, fingering a low D with gizmo. Oh. Technically, this essentially has a gizmo down, but I'm curious if I... Yeah, this is technically designed so that it's like having gizmo down all the time. Yeah. Maybe one day I'll find that F sharp, but today's not going to be that day. I'm just kind of like roughly mapping it. I am so glad I got the Trevor James because it is so close to how this behaves. It's so close. That's actually kind of insane. I did not hold that long enough, but I know where that G sits now. Interesting. I didn't used to. Oh, that's amazing that I can just like pump that out now. Wait a second. It's still a little bit elusive because it's sort of like I have to stick that air bubble in it's a little bit awkward up there. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm playing the piccolo for too long. I'm starting to do that, but I'm still very happy with how like figuring all that out. Fun. Yeah, I can just bust out that high A, and it's like pretty much exactly where this guy sits. I say that. So I think what I'm really noticing is that between the two, the embouchure is a little bit different. I would say that this one, if I'm feeling that it's requiring me to blow further down, I wonder if on this one I do actually have to roll in more. I'm going to try it. Because I was feeling a lot of like I have to, sorry, I was feeling like I really had to be like, but like if I just roll in, wouldn't it create the same effect? And then that way I can blow more across the way I'm more comfortable, you know? Yeah, it's more reliable too. Interesting. So my Nagahara Mini, I need to roll in a little bit more. Oh, that's super interesting. Yeah, that high G is like really popping now. Okay, so I need to roll in more on the Nagahara than I do on this. That's why I started with this 2 rolled in. That's interesting. So, like, if you look at the wave, I think we were talking about it last week too. I'm just going to put this here and then switch to this one. So if you're looking at the actual wave, you'll see that it's a lot sharper on the Trevor James here. Like there's a much sharper drop off. It's a little bit more rounded off on the Nagahara. And one of you guys mentioned that it's called the Konami wave because, well, I guess Konami literally means small wave already. So I literally just said small wave. But anyway, so I wonder if because of that, I need to roll in my Mopani more, right? I know the Mopani is really pretty. Yes, indeed. They play very similarly, but they sound different. Yep, as David was saying. So Trevor James is a lot more poppy. And then the Mopani, you guys notice how mellow that sounds, right? Insanely mellow. Yeah. Oh, so Henry, you're saying that it's because of the automatic gizmo that high F sharp won't come out. Oh, so it's not me is what you're saying. It can't do an F sharp. Oh, thank you for educating me. Uh wow. I'm this makes me this stream has truly made me feel very happy in my purchases. I think the Trevor James was perfect for me in, just personally, to pick up as my backup. It's composite, and like I don't have to worry too much about the maintenance. It in terms of like how it plays very similarly to my Mopani, especially in the middle register and above. It's pretty much exactly the same. The only thing is that, at least from what I'm finding right now, is that the low register on the Mopani tends to sit very not on outside on the lip, but more on the inside of the mouth, and it goes lower. So that's something that I think it's totally fine. You don't end up really playing down there very often anyway, so like it's not a big deal to me. And also I can still get a nice rich sound if I actually nail it properly. So yeah, I think the conclusion here is I picked the right backup piccolo because it does play very similarly to my Nagahara Mini, and that's what you want. So yeah, conclusion is yes. Indeed, Henry. Conclusion is yes. I'm very happy with this. I am extremely happy. So I think it's time to clean up. I can actually feel I'm getting kind of hungry from that. Oi. Holy. Let's switch back to this screen. That was fun, guys. That was so fun. Extremely fun. Why do they not have backup ones like in Harry Potter? I know, right? That would have, although I feel like that would have been a plot killer. Especially wasn't it in Deathly Hallows where they start to like pick up each other's wands and like they're forced to use each other's wands, and it's like not like it doesn't totally fit them, but it like kind of listens to them. People would break their wands a lot more often in real life. It's true. I believe it. Yeah. Like, can you imagine, like, oh, like the wand chooses the wizard and then your wand breaks. It's like, well, too bad. You ain't getting another one. Alan Rickman broke quite a few wands during the ghoul duel with McGonagall. Really? That is so cool. That is so, so cool. Okay. So I'm so pleased. I am so, so pleased. So do you guys remember when I like started playing this on stream towards the end of the like my favorite things or something, and I was like, oh no. That's because I was like, the way it plays, I was like, the comfort level is like immediately reminding me of my Mopani Nagahara. I think what we should do is do this, then you guys can see a little bit more of what I'm doing here. Okay, so I think we just, yeah, did I, you know what, it's okay, we can swap it again, that's fine. Gosh, that made me really hungry. Do you guys get hungry after playing Piccolo? Holy cow, I wasn't expecting to feel that hungry. I'm like actually hungry. It's only 5:06 p.m. where I'm at. I do not eat dinner at this time, guys. I usually eat dinner around like 6:30 or 7. Oh, and welcome back from your dinner, Michael. Yeah, I love this polishing cloth too. It just so happens that you made it. So for those of you guys who don't know, this lovely polishing cloth I'm using is made by Just Another Flute guy here in the chat, Nicholas. So if you want your own, please head on over to camvoyageonline.com and get your own. It is fantastic. It is my biggest polishing cloth. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but that is like squeaky clean. But yeah, it's machine washable, which is, I think, those are the two things that I love the most about this thing. Besides the fact that it polishes very well. It is just the fact that it is machine washable is huge. So I wash this every week, guys. Every week with my laundry. Goes right in. And it is perfect and fantastic, and I love it. And I don't have to use it today, but I have the matching cleaning cloth, also machine washable, which is like, in this day and age, you have to. It has to be machine washable, you know? No worries. Shameless promo to your heart's content. I really love this, and everyone should have one. Tomash was boasting about his new polishing cloth today as well. This one, right? Playing the piccolo for a long time is indeed exhausting. It really is. Holy cow. I need a snack. Like, if we're not having dinner right after this, I need a snack. Like, I'm like actually having hunger pangs right now. Holy freaking cow. Okay, let's get this here. It's a really good thing I have a desk this big. My goodness. For this job, man. I need so much space. Oi, oi, oi. Piccolo makes us hungry. Okay, I'm not the only one. That's good to know. Because, whew, I haven't played the piccolo in a long time. So I think I've like just forgotten how it feels to play the piccolo for a really long time. Holy cow. Because like it's like doing crunches the entire time. You know, you like the support. Yeah, it is way more than on the flute. Yeah. It's not a piccolo, it's a mini. Oh, right, yes. Well, I was actually playing the piccolo for most of today. Then I ended with the mini. But yeah, I really enjoy this. Like, I think what I really enjoy about my Mopani is it's really nice to play and record. Not that I do it very often or at all, but because I work from home and I'm teaching from this exact setup that I'm streaming from, I find that the mellower tone is a lot better for like demonstrating to my students without completely blasting their ears off. You know what I mean? Like it just makes for a better kind of like small room experience. Like, this is like a small room piccolo, like it's mellow enough that it's like sounds nice right up close. I would say that the Trevor James, with it being so poppy, this to me would perform way better on a stage, I think. Like, it will just cut right through. I don't actually know about my Mopani cutting through. I have played my Mopani in a chamber situation, and it was fantastic for a chamber situation. I actually wonder if my Trevor James will be too much for a chamber situation. I'm more of a chamber musician anyway. So, you guys are probably going to want to look at the instruments, huh? Like, before I completely put them away. Okay, here, let me open them back up again. There we go. Now we can look at them. There we go. And then I'm just going to put my hand here so I can get the camera to focus on my hand. And hopefully that is somewhat in focus. The shiny keys is like the death of the ISO on this camera. Like this poor camera just like is like, what the heck, does not know what to do with the shinies, you know? Oh. I don't know what a lupophone is. A giant bass oboe that goes down to low F. Looks like a wooden saxophone with a giant bulbous bell. Wow. That's super interesting. The F below bass clef. Whoa, that's low. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys, we did it. I reviewed my Trevor James thoroughly. I have concluded that I made the right purchase. Was it somewhat of an impulse purchase? Yes. Should you guys do an impulse purchase? No. Okay. Do as I say, do not do as I do. Yeah, it's a great piccolo. I'm very happy to have it in my arsenal. Every Asian parent. I don't know if I'm gonna sell this, guys. This is now the second stream that I've taken this out to like compare for you guys, so you guys can see how different things look. I think I have to keep it. Not you buying a LaFon head joint without trying it. Yes. Okay, my C foot though was not an impulse purchase, guys. That was not an impulse purchase. I thought about it in February of last year, so like last year. Okay, I thought about it last year, and I did not spring on it until like I did not actually make the payment until September. Okay. From when I first thought about it to like research, blah, 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 stuff like that. I did not make the payment till September. And then I didn't actually get the Seafoot until the end of December. You're calling my mini a Seafoot flute? It's not though. It's a B-foot. Oh, that's true though. I guess on me it looks like a C flute, doesn't it? Here. Oh, look, it's me playing a flute. This is legitimately though. I'm not even joking though. Like I have seen some other flutists play who are much taller than me, and when they play the flute, they look like they're doing this. Like if my mini was this long, that's what a lot of people look like. And I'm like, well, no wonder. Well, no wonder I look like a child playing a B-foot flute. No. You guys still want to look at it. I'll leave it open. No, it's not a horrible joke. It's a great joke. You know what's a horrible joke? Okay, I'll tell you this and then I'll leave. So I was telling my husband yesterday, John, okay? If you know, not all of you know who my husband is. So I was talking to him yesterday about the fact that I'm doing this stream. And I was like, yeah, I'm bought this Trevor James, while, like back in December. And, I'm finally doing a review on it. And you know what he says? You know what my husband, my dear love of my life, says? He looks me straight in the eye. He doesn't know anything about piccolos, okay? He doesn't know anything about it. He looks me straight in the eye and he goes, but shouldn't you buy a pearl? Even my husband is in on the joke. Even my husband, the love of my life, is in on the joke. He knows about the pearl. Anyway, I need to go now. I love you all so very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. We are going to have a very fun stream next week, next Thursday. I haven't like made the stream yet or anything. I'm probably gonna make it sometime next week. But it's a super special stream. We are going to be reviewing 2 alto flutes, and afterwards we will be inviting, you guys may recognize his name in the chat, or him just showing up in the chat sometimes, Greg. So we will be inviting Greg, who is records a lot of alto flute for indie video games, and the composer of a video game that I just beat. So I just beat a video game called Haunty, and it follows a ghost, essentially kind of like going through the afterlife on the road to peace. So there is a beautiful solo that goes with your angel. So you have a little angel friend, and Greg recorded this beautiful solo written by Michael Kirby Ward, I believe is his name. Let me make sure that I got his name correct. So Haunty is spelled Hauntii. Hauntii. Yes, Michael Kirby Ward. So I will have the 2 of them on stream. We're going to chat. They're going to teach me the solo that is on an alto flute, on one of the alto flutes that I will have reviewed right before. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing stream. So that's going to happen next Thursday. We've already kind of scheduled it between the 3 of us so Thursday, February 6th at starting this, the review will start at 2 p.m. Pacific. And then it will probably go for about 3 hours, I'm going to guess. So let me just check my calendar really quickly again, make sure I got all that right. Yeah. So I want to leave a little bit of a kind of like a surprise for you guys. So I'm not going to tell you what brands not Pearl. Maybe. I just spoiled it myself. But I'm not going to tell you what the other brand of alto flute is until you guys see the little promos coming out next week. So there you go. Yes, Haunty. I don't know if Haunty is available on Switch. But yeah, it is on Switch. Sweet. So yeah, I really love Haunty. Haunty is exactly my vibe. So I know that this might seem a little weird to some of you guys, but my ideal vibe for an indie video game is themes of death and reprioritizing your life. What does life mean to you? What does death mean to you? Creepy, cute, that type of vibe. So, other games that I have loved, other indie video games that I've loved in the past that deal with these themes, Omori, Chained Echoes, Death's Door, and Tunic. So I've played all these games, not well, okay? I don't play them well. I just enjoy myself. It's a hobby, okay? I'm not good at it, but I enjoy myself. But yeah, exactly. Like this is my, it's my vibe. And so I screamed when I saw Greg's name during the credits. Because he told me about it before, but it was so long ago that I had forgotten that he recorded for this. And I remember I was just going through the game going like, oh wow, this flute part is just so, it is beautiful. And then I was like, I had this thought, I was like, what if it's Greg? Maybe it's Greg. And then I got to the end and I saw him in the credits and I was like, ah! Yeah. So anyway, that is happening next Thursday. Looks like it's on sale on the Switch. Is it on sale on the Switch or is it on sale on Steam? $12.99, very good price. Extremely good price. So well worth your money. It's a very good game. And yeah, we're going to talk about it. So super fun. But yeah, you guys have yourselves a wonderful weekend. I love you all so very much. Stay happy, healthy, and safe, because there is no music without the musician. I will see you guys next week, Thursday. All right.